Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time if you are new. We are back to watch another episode of Young Royals. This is the first episode of Season 3, the final season as far as we're aware. And I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous to start off because we left off last season with like a big bombshell, you know. Willie gave his big speech and kind of went public and everything, and the consequences of that are gonna be following him. Like it's gonna be like it's exciting, but at the same time, like I can already envision like the negative backlash from I don't know, whoever they decide to make the horrible person. But I can already see the like hardship ahead for these two kids, and it's just not, that part is not going to be exciting. But overall, I'm very excited for Season 3. Now, obviously, if you're unaware, I reacted to both Season 1 and Season 2 on the channel already. I will link that playlist in the description down below, so if you guys want to check out those reactions, it's super easy to find that down there. Otherwise, I don't want to talk too much before jumping into this, because I don't have a ton of time. I'm recording this before I have to go to work, so I'm a little bit on a deadline, so I gotta speed things up. So before we jump into this, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to more of this show or more stuff in general. I watch a ton of stuff on the channel, a wide variety of genres, so branch out, check out some new shows or movies you haven't seen before or maybe wouldn't have watched before, and let's have some fun, you know? And then I have a Patreon and YouTube memberships that are super fun. If you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, you just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. That's super fun to do. Since this is the first episode of a new show or a new season, that uncut is going to be completely free in public for anyone to check out. And if you find that that's something you're interested in going forward, then your support would mean the world. It would be the bee's knees, brother. Like, come on. It would be super fun. But I think that's all I have to say beforehand. So without further ado, let's jump into Season 3, Episode 1 of Young Royals. Yes, he looks so much older already. Shmi Skywalker. Oh, she is not thrilled with him. Okay, don't treat your son like that.
Har du tagit tabletten?
Ja.
Vill du ha vatten?
Nej, det är bra.
Damn. I was expecting like some public backlash, but coming from his ma?
Represent the lost and troubled souls out there. I identify myself with a jungle frog.
I also identify myself with the jungle frog.
We make it dust. Make it dust now, people make it dust. Make it dust now, make it dust.
Dang, this song kind of slaps, not gonna lie.
In the center of the mosh pit.
Okay. Hey. It's like he got called into the principal's office. Everyone's just pissed.
Ja, vi har samlats här idag med anledning av den så kallade intimvideon.
Oh, yeah. I forgot they did that.
Vi vill tillsammans med er se över möjligheterna att nå en förlikning.
I en rättegång så hade knappast bevisen eller vittnesmålen räckt till en fällande dom. Frågan är om videon i sig ens skulle anses vara särskilt explicit.
Ursäkta?
I mean, it obviously was explicit.
Han försökte förstöra deras liv. Och efter prinsess Tal kom Nordisk motståndsrörelse till Bjärstad och brände prideflaggor. Folk ringer mitt i natten. Vi får hatbrev till vår hem.
Yeah, they've been put through a lot because of this. Okay, so they got August's lawyer here. Or is that his
Jag får
dad?
ta nästa vecka.
Så jävla lätt när de sitter och tittar på mig som att jag vore någon jävla pissmänniska.
You are a piss person.
Ja, du är en pissmänniska. Jag brukar tänka så här.
You're a
Tycker du
piss
att jag är en
person.
pissmänniska?
Nej,
Tycker du att jag är ond eller?
nej, absolut
I mean-
inte.
You did a horrible thing. Like real bad.
Jag älskar monarkin.
Men den viktiga frågan är väl, älskar monarkin dig?
The monarchy only loves the monarchy.
Men vadå, vad hade han tänkt betala?
1,2 miljoner kronor.
1.2
Jag
milli.
flyttade inte till
Is that a
Sverige
lot?
för att mina
know how
barn
much
skulle lära sig
crowns are
ta
worth.
emot mutor.
What's the conversion rate on that one? Wow. Just the look he gives him. He's so into him.
Jag kan inte riktigt fatta att du är här. Det var inte riktigt så här jag hade drömt om att det skulle vara.
Yeah. It's kind of rough,
Jag
but
har drömt att det ska vara.
as his husband, duh. As the future first gentleman of the monarchy.
Vadå?
The Dutch. What's the male version of Duchess? The Dutch of whatever town in Sweden. Like, isn't the English princess? What is she? The Duchess of Wales? What would Simone be? Or is she the Duchess of Cambridge? I don't remember. Someone's gonna walk in. They never give these kids privacy.
Var det så här i din dröm?
I think it's a little closer. A little closer, but not quite.
Det här är bättre.
Better. little cheek grab.
Vi behöver fortsätta.
Ja, vi kommer.
Gonna have to fix your hair.
Ursäkta mig, men vi är klara här. Ni gör hur ni vill, men jag tänker att inte lära mina barn att vissa kommer undan lagen.
August här tänker sig att inte anmäla Simon för att ha sålt sin pappas medicin till levande himmelska.
Come on.
Eller kronprinsen för det faktum att hans höghet hotade August till livet med ett gevär.
Yeah, technically both of those things happened.
Alltså, allt det här, det är ju ditt fel från början. Det var du som lurade Simon på pengar. Jag vill minnas att du tog drogerna dessutom.
Gjorde du också?
Men i utbyte mot Augusts tystnad, för att inte tala om den generösa ekonomiska ersättningen från parterna, behöver vi en försäkring från kungahuset. Att August får en officiell titel som näst i tronföljden efter kronprinsen.
Om du har en titel eller inte, du kommer aldrig vara en del av min familj. Titta på mig! Om du tror att jag kommer låta dig ta över så ska du glömma det.
Med ditt track record så kommer du nog lyckas fucka upp allt helt på egen hand.
Ja, det är jag som fuckar upp.
Du, dina problem
August,
började
you
långt
played a
innan...
significant
Det
part
vet du.
in all his struggles.
Du är en äcklig!
Men sluta!
Mama Skywalker is angry.
Vad tror du att Erik skulle ha sagt om han hade sett er bete er så här?
Yo, Eric would have beat August to death.
Erik hade aldrig förlåtit honom.
You ain't mess with his little brother
För
like
du är
that.
snart 17 år och
He ain't gonna
inom
be
ett år
chill with that.
så ska du kunna ta över efter mig. Förstår ni det? Att det här är ingen lek.
I mean,
Jag lovar. Ers
what
Majestät.
role does the monarchy really play?
Gud.
Is she having a migraine, a panic attack? Is she dying? What is... What is happening?
Gå och hämta någon!
Erik!
She just misses her brother, or her son, I mean. His brother. What do we see? What is that? Jewelry? A friendship bracelet necklace thing.
Men vem är inte det? Hon är liksom haft på sig samma springtights i flera dagar i rad.
Alltså,
Several days in a row. I do that.
ja men alltså förlåt, men jag och Sara var en snake, så get over it already. Det är inte så att hon har blivit dumpad, det hade varit lite en annan grej.
Sarah was a snake, get over it.
Wilhelm, får jag prata med dig helt ärligt och öppet en sekund?
No. We ain't chill like that.
Men jag tror att om vi använder den här situationen på rätt sätt så kan den hjälpa oss att modernisera bilden av monarkin som en naturlig del av ett tolerant Sverige.
Okay, yeah.
Det är därför vi måste fokusera
That's
på ditt
true.
arbete.
That's true. You could be a huge catalyst towards a more progressive future for your country.
Vi ser bara en potentiell risk i det här. Att Simon inte förstår att allt han gör från och med nu faller tillbaka på dig. Det påverkar hela kungahuset.
I mean, I think he's generally aware.
Han måste ligga lågt just nu. Förstår du vad jag menar?
Ja, jag förstår vad du menar.
How low does he have to lay?
Jag har under kontroll.
Can you even post like stories? No posts at all? Like what's the criteria here? Can you post a picture of like a sunset and be like life's good? Or like what are the ground rules for social media?
Va?
Jag vill bara vara säker.
Tror att jag knarkar?
Och du har utgångsförbud resten av terminen. Vienes directo de la escuela a la casa.
Jag vet att jag har gjort ett misstag, men det var för att hjälpa Sara. Sen blev allt fel för
Mira,
att August...
¿cómo voy a saber esto, Simón? ¿Cómo?
I like that she's speaking Spanish.
Es como que ya no conozco a mis hijos.
Get back in your room, Sarah.
Vad är det som händer?
Don't worry about it.
Hur gick det på slottet?
Sara! Allt det här är ditt fel!
Men jag anmälde ju August bara för att visa dig att jag var på din sida.
Men du borde ha pratat med mig innan! Nu har du gjort allt ännu värre!
Men du vägrade ju prata med mig.
Snälla, kan du bara inte vara här? Snälla, du har förstört mitt liv och nu blir jag förnedrad i mitt fucking hem!
I mean, to a certain extent, these are the consequences of your own actions. Like, this part's not her fault. You did steal your father's drugs and sell them. That's kind of on you. But I'm not thrilled with her either.
Nej, men det är den här jävla reportern som skriver igen.
Vadå, om kronprinsen?
Ja, men efter det jävla talet. Frågar massa andra grejer också. Som hände för fett länge sedan.
Vadå?
Ja, om invigningarna och grejer.
Oh, the hazing stuff.
Men vad har invigningarna med Ville och hans tal att göra?
The reporter's probably building a case or building a story of a larger issue at play with the school. 50-day party. What is that? A sobriety party for the school? We haven't done any drugs in 50 days. The whole room gets quiet. Come on, guys. Be a little less obvious you're watching them. Is that kid wearing the Knives Out sweater?
Tänk om du vill så kan du sova här.
Oh, he can't. He's grounded. Fat Rip in the chat.
Hela terminen. Hela terminen?
Mamma är jättearg. Men du kan komma hem till mig istället.
Yeah, I don't know if she'd be chill with that.
Får jag
If
bara
he's grounded. that means nobody can hang out as well. It's like a circumvention of the rules. A loophole. Parents don't like being loopholed.
Dansa ballongdansen på en offentlig plats. Sexa lärare. Pierca nippen, Marre, det är du.
Okej, vad är mer kvar då?
Pierce your nipple and sext a teacher?
Men den är jättebra för dig, August. Det blir ju jättelätt.
Rydd.
Om det är Felice eller Sara.
They're freshmen? What? I thought they were all seniors.
Har du blivit kär?
He is. Indeed.
Ja, i och för sig. Du är ju ganska bra. Då kan ju du och Villa följa på bussen ut till slummen.
Prata inte med henne sådär. Okej?
Yeah, this kid's a dick. Vincent. Kick rocks, buddy. Not to defend August and Sarah, but like, just because she's poor doesn't mean she's like less of a person.
Alltså det är så konstigt för att jag är verkligen... Alltså jag är så jävla arg på henne.
Yeah, I mean rightfully
På
so.
något sjukt jävla vänster så saknar jag det samtidigt. Alltså, hur kommer man över sin bästa vän?
Yeah, I feel like people don't really like talk about that as much when you lose a friendship. It's similar to, you know, mourning a relationship.
Vi har hört en del rykten om homofobi. Ditt ex, Marcus Sköld, han sa i alla fall att det verkade vara ganska problematiskt mellan dig och kronprinsen. Har du någon kommentar till det påståendet?
Yo, how about you F off? They don't have anyone out there to like if this is such a big deal that he not talk to reporters, they don't have anyone to tell the reporter to suck eggs.
Jag tror att det är bättre att jag bara har koll själv och svarar på vissa kommentarer och har kontroll. Så att folk fattar vem jag är och vart jag står typ.
Yeah, tough situation all around. Oh, you guys still rocking the PS4? PS4 Pro or?
Varför? Jag ska vandra och jag ska paddla.
The subtitles didn't tell me what that said. That's one annoying thing that they've done twice now in this episode is while they're like texting someone on the screen, they have a different person talking in the background, and it shows the subtitles of the person talking and not what's the text on the screen. So I have no idea what that phone just said. I read the comments. The reply says it all. Ooh.
Hålla det privat. Vadå, ångrar du dig att du sa att det var du?
Nej. Varför skulle jag ångra mig?
Jag vet inte, det bästa är väl kanske att hålla sig till
It's understandable to regret a small part of it just because of what's come about, but I mean, he's obviously not asking like, hey, would you, like, do you regret it completely? But there's got to be like a small, like very small part of him that's like wishing he wouldn't have done that, you know? That's just natural with like any sort of huge backlash. It's cracking, brother.
Jag sover här.
Jag tar och fixar i sovrummet åt dig.
Det behövs inte. Jag tar soffan. Det är ändå bara tillfälligt.
Yeah, but you could sleep on a bed.
Okay, Felice. This is an intervention.
För vad?
Because you're being a scrub.
New York, bitch!
Like we're going to New York?
Och en av de viktigaste sakerna är att man måste liksom ha någonting som man kan se fram emot.
Or is that just from New York?
So, we're going to New York straight after school
Oh,
finishes.
let's go.
Alltså vi ska...
USA, USA.
Vi ska sola, vi ska bli bruna snälla, vi ska klubba.
Oh, and
Vi
I know
kommer-
a person that has the best fake IDs.
Alltså,
Yeah, you'll need those because you're children, so you can't really go clubbing. Is that a Chromebook? Get that out of here. Think I don't recognize a Chromebook when I see it? Why is the Crown Prince using a Chromebook? Get out of here. Oh, look at that little heart. Yes. Redraw it every day. Or get it tattooed. This article came out, doesn't look good. What's the article? Prince's speech inspires former students crude just stop it! I can't read all that. Wild drug parties, violent mental abuse, culture of silence, scandal.
De var tvungna att dricka varandras spott och alla tvingades klä av sig. Sedan sattes en gayporrfilm på en tv. Alla tvingades sitta på rad och titta. Den som fick stånd pekades ut under hånskratt.
Okay. So this is becoming a huge thing.
Kronprinsen talar om att gå emot gamla förlegade traditioner. Han inspirerade mig att våga prata om det som hände där.
Bra jobbat, Wilhelm.
Okay, so inadvertently, his speech is causing a lot to come out. Hello. Prime Minister, not Prime Minister, Headmaster, Headmistress is the word I'm looking for.
Ni kan sätta er.
She's the Prime Minister of the school.
Jag heter Vanessa Hamilton och jag är
Acting
tillförordnad
principal.
rektor. Anette Lilja har begärt tjänstledig tills dess att sanningshalten i de anklagelser som framkommit i media rätts ut. Dags att ta i med hårdhandskarna. All ej schemalagd aktivitet upphör
All extracurriculars end?
Och
That I feel
så
like is
kommer
not...
mobiltelefoner omhändertas.
What?
Men vi får använda dem 1 timme om dagen.
Det kommer att råda ett utegångsförbud.
I mean, I guess this is a private school. But...
Om någon skulle påträffas utanför sitt elevhem efter det att utegångsförbudet trätt i kraft, eller konsumerar alkohol, eller nikotin för den delen, så kommer det leda till omedelbar avstängning.
Skoja.
Whew. There are some... They are course correcting hard. Yeah, and the curfew means that they can't hang out because he's grounded.
Jag vill göra det
Yeah, I mean,
tydligt
again,
för er
consequences
vad
of
det
your
är som
actions,
står på
but
spel.
still, this is...
Om vi
A
inte
lot.
kan uppvisa att Hillerska är en trygg miljö så kan vi få ett verksamhetsförbud.
Och vad innebär det då?
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess like they would shut down the school.
Hillerska kan tvingas stänga.
Like it's not
Med omedelbar
completely
verkan.
in her hands, right? There's an outside governing body, I assume. Ooh, end of the episode? Okay. Yeah, damn. Okay, so the actions of the finale last season are having some wide-reaching consequences for sure, and I feel like it's just gonna heighten the amount of like backlash and stuff that Willie and Simon are already dealing with. Like they're already having to deal with like the general public, like their backlash and homophobia and different things like that. They have to deal with like his own mother's disapproval and like just the turmoil that the royal family's going through, like just all this stuff. And then now like his comments about like breaking old traditions have like inadvertently put the whole school under a microscope and instituted some like very strict new rules, and I'm just very curious to see like what is gonna go like or what is gonna happen, like what's gonna go on. There's a lot of stuff that they're gonna have to deal with. So like I mean right off the bat we're already like thrown into like a meeting with like lawyers and everything, because obviously like there's some complicated like legal issues, specifically regarding August, and him like filming the two of them. And you know, that's so tough because like it is like an absolute invasion of their privacy, and like a real good lawyer probably could like make the case that it is like an intimate video, like a sexually explicit video of minors, you know, hooking up. Like a real good lawyer probably could make that case. Like if the Monarchy wanted to, they could probably, you know, really go after that and make August pay for that. But they obviously don't want a huge scandal, and I don't think they are as on Willie's side in that situation to pursue that action, which kind of sucks. Like I feel like August should face some repercussions for that, but then like August's lawyer said, or was that his dad? I think it was his lawyer, but I'm not 100% sure. You know, as he said, like a real good lawyer probably also could make the case that that it technically, from a legal perspective, might not be considered explicit, or like you know, super like graphic, because it's just, you know, people kissing. But like I feel like when you start to get into the weeds of that and like the technical like legalese of what that is, it just feels kind of scummy, you know? I mean, obviously that is the lawyer's job though, is like to get into that and make sure that their client doesn't face, you know, repercussions. But it just kind of sucks. You know, it does suck. And it also sucks that like when Simone's mom is like, yo, like we're not gonna like capitulate to what you want. We're not gonna send a message that, you know, you're above the law because you're rich or you're like technically part of the royal lineage. Like the law is the law, and everyone should fall under the same consequences. And I mean, I agree with that. Like I think they should. Like you know, the fact that he might face different consequences because of his wealth is shitty. Especially when there's like there's such a contrast between where they are financially, like the two families, with, you know, August's family having so much money. I mean, he's got some financial struggles for sure, but like he's still rich as balls. And then Simone's family being like a lower end. They make jokes later in the episode about them like being from the slums. Like it sucks that they have to like factor in those things, right? And that there is a difference in between like how the law is applied to those people. It just sucks. And it sucks even more that the lawyer is straight up like, yo, if you don't sign this agreement, like they essentially like blackmailed them. Like they're like, if you don't sign this agreement, you know, it's gonna come out that Simone, like not even just it's gonna come out, like we're straight up going to report you for, you know, selling your father's drugs. Even though, like, that's the worst part, is like, and why Willie was so mad is because like it was August's like fault. Like he's the one that directed Simone to get those drugs. He's the one that wanted to buy them. Like if it wasn't because of him, like Simone wouldn't have done that. Like it's just a shitty dude. And then he's the one that gave like Willie, like he essentially was like pressuring Willie to like be part of all this stuff, you know, season 1. So like a whole bunch of this stuff like directly stemmed from August's actions, and then now they're turning that around to be like, you know, if you don't do, what we say and sign this agreement, like we're gonna report you for going along with these actions. And it's like, and it's so frustrating because they sign this agreement, and not only that, but he's like, also, you're gonna officially give me a title. Like that. That's such a scummy thing. Like, arguably, August should be facing legal action for what he did, and instead, he is coming out of this with an official title within the monarchy, next in line behind Willie, and scot-free for his decisions. And it's just so frustrating. I mean, to a certain extent, he obviously regrets what he did, and you can to the smallest extent sympathize with his regret. But also, you don't get to regret what you did and then also go after the other people and blackmail and benefit and extort everyone else so that you come out in the best possible situation. I feel like when you do that, all the sympathy for your character just fades away, and it's you just are in a spot of hey, I don't like you anymore. But also you can you can understand why he's being selfish and why he would do these things. His relationships are destroyed. Obviously, he doesn't want to face any consequences. So what else is he gonna do? I mean, you could be a good person and be yeah, I did that, I'll face the consequences. But selfishly, how many people would actually just straight up give themselves up and face those consequences? I don't know. I don't know if I'm that good of a person to lay down on the sword and be yeah, I screwed up, hit me with the book or whatever. So it's a complicated situation. And then it's even more complicated because a lot of the stuff that the school did or the students did comes out anyway. I mean, technically, Simone isn't individually reported for selling drugs, and Willie isn't individually reported for doing those drugs, but the school, all the hazing and stuff that all still comes out anyway. So it's a real tough situation because now just everything's thrown into the wind essentially. Simone's grounded for the whole semester from his mom because his mom's yo, you're selling your dad's pills. Her response, completely understandable. If I was a parent and I found out that my child stole drugs and sold them to kids at school, I would be furious. I would be unhinged as a parent. And the fact that she's piss in this cup makes sense. And the fact that she grounded him for the semester, that, again, that also makes sense. Most parents probably aren't going to hold to that complete term, right? Eventually the anger will fade, and they might be a little more understanding in terms of fine, you can go hang out with your friend eventually. But it does introduce a big complication given some of the restrictions at the end, right? This she says they have a curfew. And anyone caught out after curfew is in trouble. And I doubt that the Crown Prince is free from that restriction. And so there being a curfew and then Simone also being grounded does not give these two essentially any time to, spend any time together. It's gonna be rough. It's not gonna be fun. And it's also not going to be fun because, one, they're already facing backlash. Two, in the article about all this stuff, the person that, came out directly put, not, blame, but they attributed the reasoning for coming out to Willie's speech and, wanting to, it gave them the courage to come forward or whatever. And so I imagine there's going to be some students who are not thrilled with the restrictions, who are then going to blame Willie and Simone and being yo, if you guys hadn't done this, if you guys weren't together, if you hadn't given this speech, none of this would be happening. Like, I'd be able to have a fun senior year. You know, they're presumably going to face backlash from their fellow students, which is going to suck as well. So there's just a whole lot that is being, you know, directly put on these children. like these are kids, and they're having to deal with like some heavy stuff, right? Like, this is not just like some chill, like benign consequences. Like, this is heavy stuff. You know, and a lot of the stuff that's happening regarding like the school being outed for horrible hazing practices is good. Like, I want to be clear about that. I think it's a good thing that whatever student this happened to was willing to come forward and talk about the things that happened at that school. Because, like, arguably, that's bad stuff. Like tying students down, forcing them to watch, like, explicit videos, and then ridiculing them if they are aroused, you know, essentially forcing these kids to take drugs, forcing them to drink alcohol, like, traumatizing, like, abuse type stuff is happening at this school. And it's not like super uncommon for that sort of thing to happen in an environment where a lot of these students feel they are free from consequence anyway, given the fact that they're rich. Like, that's just kind of an environment that is fostered amongst people in power. So the fact that it's all coming out, I am kind of like, yeah, fight the system. Like, screw these rich kids. But at the same time, like, it's a lot is going to be levied down in terms of, like, you know, heavy-handed stuff is coming. Like, even the headmistress is, like, resigning, or she requested a leave of absence. There's, like, an official school governing board that is, like, threatening to shut them down. Like, this is some serious stuff, and it can definitely you know, screw up some futures. You know, granted, none of these kids are gonna, they'll all be fine. Like, that's one thing you got to keep in mind. These kids are all rich as hell. Like, every single person at this school, other than maybe like Simone and his sister, are like balls to the walls rich. Like, they got cash coming out their ears. and most of them have like incredible lawyers, incredible networking systems, where they're gonna be doing well in life no matter what. Like that needs to be reiterated. So if they have to face some consequences for a horrible school environment, then that's just what has to happen. And the fact that there's some like negative consequences for specific students that we kind of empathize with and we personally root for, sometimes you just gotta like accept that consequence. But it doesn't mean it's gonna be fun to see these kids deal with some of this stuff, you know. But from a systemic point of view, like, changes need to happen at this school, you know, to have a more positive environment that is free from this sort of thing. You know, I feel like I've been harping on it too much, but it is what it is. Felice and Sarah, she's mourning a lost friendship. Makes sense. You know, they were like besties, and now they're not. And it was very sudden. This wasn't just like a gradual, like, hey, I don't really like you anymore type thing. This was like a very sudden betrayal. And she's talking about the complications of like mourning a friendship of someone who like screwed you over. And that makes sense. Like, it makes sense that her friends are like, hey, screw her, let's move on from her. But it also makes sense that she is like, I miss my best friend. Like, this isn't an easy thing for her, because that, you know, losing a friendship is very similar to like losing a loved one, or like, you know, breaking up in a relationship. And that is a thing that shouldn't be ignored. But they're going to New York, bitch. So like, everything's fine now. No. yeah, I don't know. There's lots of stuff that's going to be happening, and we got to keep an eye on it. I think there's how many episodes right now are out? I think just the first 5. Yeah, episodes 1 through 5, and then episode 6 comes out March 18th. Is that like the final episode? Is episode 6? I think so. As far as I'm aware, that's like the final episode. So, you know, it's coming quick. It's coming soon, brother. I think this was a solid start to this season, though. I really enjoyed it. Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I know we kind of like dove in immediately to some like in-depth discussion on some dense topics, but I'm very curious to see like what you guys think. Otherwise, I think that's all I have to say. So if you enjoyed this reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me, helps my channel grow. If you're new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider either supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. Again, since this is the first episode of a new show or a new season, that uncut will be completely free in public for anyone to check out. And if you find that that's something you're interested in going forward, then your support would mean the world. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.